The regular season is almost here. The Bulldogs have just 2 regular season games left, and that means signing day is right around the corner. Georgia is pushing for that #1 recruiting class in the country once again, and I think if they close strong with some of their top remaining targets, that they will end up with the #1 class. And this video is all about which prospects I think are trending Georgia's way right now. There's a few that I have in mind. After that, I'm going to break down where I see Georgia going with the rest of their class, other targets to keep in mind. But the first guy I want to talk about is Deuce Robinson, #1 tight end in America, 6'6", 230. He's going to look a little bit more like Darnell Washington compared to guys like Brock Bowers and maybe Oscar Delp. But this is a pass-catching machine. He's an excellent blocker on the edge. Darnell Washington's about 270. But this guy, Deuce Robinson, if they land him, right now I think Georgia's in a really good spot. He's going to play that role. He's an excellent blocker. Could possibly be an extra offensive tackle next to him if he continues to put on weight and muscle. But he's a big target in the passing game. Tremendous baseball player, just a really good athlete. Big target, big strong hands, can run after the catch. There's a reason why he's the #1 tight end in the country, and there's a reason why Todd Hartley continues to push for him, even though he has 2 tight ends already on board, 2 really good ones in 4 stars, Pierce Sperlin, another excellent pass-catching tight end, and Lawson Lucky, a Georgia legacy out of Norcross, who can, just caught 9 passes for 140 yards at a touchdown in the first round of the playoffs a couple weeks ago. So if you want to play tight end at Georgia, you better be able to catch the ball, but you got to be able to be physical in the run game too. Deuce Robinson is a guy who fits that mold. Todd Hartley went to go see him during Georgia's bye week. The week before Florida, he flew out to Arizona and Phoenix just to watch this kid. And I think Georgia is probably the team to beat right now instead of Southern Cal, a team out west that has been trending for a while. But Todd Hartley does not miss. He's going hard after Deuce Robinson, #1 tight end in America. And I think Georgia leads there. Obviously, Sam Mpemba, he's got a decision coming, I believe December 4th. Thought I had it written in my notes. I think it's December 4th. 5-star edge, outside linebacker, whatever you want to call that type. 6'4", about 240, long, athletic. Played some different positions earlier in high school. Was from Virginia, now at IMG Academy. I think he saw Georgia play Oregon and Mercedes-Benz. He saw Georgia take on Missouri. He was there for the Auburn game. He was there for the Tennessee game. This guy has seen Georgia play live, I think 4 times, if I got that correct. I've been saying he's a strong Georgia lean since late this summer. Took his official visit to Georgia when they played Tennessee. Obviously, one of the best environments in college football. I was told that they have a pretty comfortable lead here. One outlet has him as the #29 player in the country. Easy 5-star, one of the top 10 players in Florida. When you're a top 10 player in the state of Florida, you're really, really good, and you have NFL written all over you because they just pump guys out there. Sam Mpemba, again, a long, athletic pass rusher that I think Georgia's been pushing hard for a while now. I thought Miami was the team to beat early in his recruitment. He was at Tennessee when they beat Alabama, rushed the field and all that, I was told. But I continue to hear that Georgia sits in a really, really good spot, and I expect Georgia to sign him when it's all said and done. So he's a 5-star defender that I think Georgia will end up landing. Another defensive line type, Jordan Hall, out of Jacksonville. I think Florida State was his favorite school growing up. Not exactly sure what happened there. I think if Florida State went all in on this kid, that there's a pretty good chance they get him. But I think Georgia has really taken over his recruitment. Big athletic kid on the interior, about 6'4", 300, just destroying kids in Jacksonville this year. He looks the part physically. Dude looks like he's 30 years old, and he's got the film to back it up. He is in the backfield in a hurry. Just a game wrecker from the inside of the defensive line. Gets in the backfield in a hurry. Can eat up double teams, can clog those running lanes, but he can also get after the quarterback. In one-on-one situations, there's nobody in Jacksonville who can block this kid one-on-one. Again, he looks the part. I think Georgia has been the team to beat for a while now, Georgia and Florida State, but not sure what happened with him in Florida State because I continue to hear that Georgia is in a really good spot, although he grew up playing for the Noles. But this is a guy who would do really well playing next to a guy like Jamal Jarrett, who's a just massive 330-pounder, going to eat up space, eat up those running lanes. Jordan Hall can do the same thing, but he can get after the quarterback a little better. So if we're talking Jalen Carter comparisons, I don't know if he's athletic as Jalen Carter is, but he could be close to as disruptive as Jalen Carter has been. He's a guy who is only going to rise in the rankings. One outlet has him as the number 52 player in the country, number 7 defensive lineman. So I think his stock is only going to rise, and I think Georgia is the team to beat for him right now. Another guy I want to talk about, another 5-star, right? One outlet has this guy, Damon Wilson, number 19 player in the country, number 2 edge defender, number 5 player in Florida. Elite, elite, elite. That's what this guy is. 6'4", 230. Again, long and athletic, extremely quick off the ball, gets it, just lives in the backfield. I mean, no one has been able to block this guy either out of Venice, Florida. I think Ohio State was the team to beat before he took his visit to Georgia for the Tennessee game. That was huge. I think Ohio State was going to land him, and probably sooner than later if he did not take that visit to Georgia for the Tennessee game. I was told after that visit that Georgia was the team to beat. Still think Ohio State has a real shot, but if he committed today, I think Georgia would be the pick. Now, as the longer it goes, the more he's going to think about his decision. Of course, I think Ohio State was the team out in front for a while. Hard to not like Ohio State, right? I mean, they're top 3 program in college football. They have winning DNA, and they pump guys out to the NFL. So I understand why Ohio State would be a team that he likes. And again, I thought they were the team to be going into that Georgia-Tennessee visit that he took. So big deal getting him on campus, and I think Georgia blew him and his family away on that visit. So if he were to make a decision, I think Georgia would be the pick. If they can land Damon Wilson and Samuel Mpimba as 2 edge defenders on the outside, getting to the quarterback, that's huge. That is absolutely huge. You've got 2 elite dynamic pass rushers in the same class coming from different sides. Good luck every offensive tackle that Georgia's going to be playing for the next several years, because these dudes can get after it. I think right now, Georgia probably has the lead there. Devin Hobbs, he's going to make a decision next Friday. I think Tennessee is the team to beat there for the versatile defender. Could play on the edge, could play inside. Just another kind of game record type out of North Carolina. His stock has been rising for months now. Everyone who sees him raves about him. I thought Alabama and Tennessee were the teams to beat before his visit to Athens. He was there for the Tennessee game. Thought Georgia really, really impressed him. Still think Tennessee's probably the team to beat there. Of course, Justice Haynes was also in town that weekend. I think Alabama is going to land him, but Georgia's not giving up. They need a second running back in this class. They want it to be Justice Haynes. And I get why. He's one of the best running backs in the country, best running back in the state for the past 2 years. Georgia legacy. Guy who checks all the boxes. Just dominant running back and one of the best that maybe we've seen come out of Georgia in some time. There's some really good under-the-radar backs in Georgia, though. There are a lot of seniors who should be getting multiple D1 offers that really haven't yet. But Justice is the best. I think Georgia is going to continue to push for him. But I think Alabama is probably going to end up landing him in the end. Now, they did lose a commitment from Daniel Harris last week, 4-star cornerback. Dude just wants to play, and you're not going to get to Athens and play immediately. It's just not happen unless you're crazy 5-star Malachi Starks in the secondary, and there's an opening there for you. So Malachi Starks took advantage of that, but with Kirby Smart and this staff, it's going to take a while to earn their trust to get some playing time. So you're not going to walk into Athens and start. Daniel Harris probably could at a place like Miami, down in the dumps. Embarrassing program right now. They need talent. He's from the Miami area. We'll see if that's where he lands, but he could play almost anywhere a little quicker than he could at Georgia right now. It's because they just reload with talent. 5-star corner, 5-star safety, another 5-star corner. So if you're a guy who your big thing is not necessarily winning championships, but playing as early as possible, Georgia's probably not the place for you, and that's okay. It's not for everyone. We'll see if they go out and land another 5th defensive back. I think they will. Not exactly sure who they're going to target there the rest of the way. They probably want Daniel Harris to come back on board. He was one of the first guys that Fran Brown offered when he got the job at Georgia back in February. So they like him a lot. He's really good. He's a top 100 player in the country. So I think they're going to try to get him back on board. If not, we'll see where else they go. But right now, they're in a great spot at linebacker, really good spot in the secondary if they want to add one more. They need to load up on defensive linemen, and obviously there's a lot of targets out there that are uncommitted. And so I think they'll get those guys. Offensively, Gonna try to get one more running back. Deuce Robinson, the tight end, I think Todd Harley would love. We'll see if they try to add another offensive lineman. I think they're good there. But right now, that's where I see things. Stay tuned to Dog Post for the next several weeks. It's going to be a crazy month of December as we enter signing day into late December. So thanks for watching this video as always. Stay tuned to the next one coming up right now. I'll see you over on Dog Post.